So this is part, or a redo, I guess you could say. I had done a comparison of my Overlanders and the new ThurmanNW Builder Pro I picked up, this boot, and I had messed up my audio, so here we go again. I just got these last week, had the Overlanders since late last year. I've posted a couple videos about them. It's been a while. I was talking about doing an update. I guess this kind of would be it. Just kind of maybe not ideal. They're probably going to get sold. I've had an ongoing issue where I talk about right here, my little toe, baby toe, kind of gets mushed. I can actually feel it. There's a slight bulge right here. I'd even used a boot stretcher. I think I talked about it in the video to try to help open it up, but this leather is pretty strong and just didn't really do much. I love the way these look. I love this 1964 tan, comfortable boot otherwise. A little bit of heel slit, but it's good size. The length maybe a little short. I kind of wondered if 11.5D would have been a better fit than 11E. But they're ready to ship. That's what I got. I've never bought like an MTO from Nick's. I guess I just don't have the patience. So I always end up doing these ready to ship purchases. But that right boot's always been a problem. I was curious about this new Thurman Munson Last. I'm going to post a link to a cool, it's the book actually that Edward Munson, what's his name? Sir Edward Munson, or Dr. Edward Munson wrote. He's the one who obviously created the Munson Last, that concept. I haven't read the book, but I've kind of flipped through it's Google, I think, scanned the copy from UC Irvine or something, and has some photos inside the book of like x-rays he did, and different foot profiles and footprints on the ground. And basically his whole commentary, if you've never heard of the Munson Last, was that the human, and I'll throw some of these up while I'm talking, I'm sure, when I edit this, but basically this shape is more of the natural foot. He talks about, I think, toddlers and, young children, firstborn, when they're not really wearing shoes, they have kind of more toe splay, and then, the footwear that humans have kind of evolved over, centuries to wear kind of smashes down your feet, and you can see the difference. If I compare more of a traditional foot shape, shoe shape or boot shape, in this case it's a boot, you could see it kind of more, let me try to line these up more accurately. You could see how it just kind of tightens on the toe more, compresses your toe splay, kind of limits the splay, and I guess that can lead to all sorts of issues. He was trying to, I think, relate it to health issues. Again, I need to read his book. I've just kind of read a few pages here and there and flipped through it. But you could say I have some of those issues. I'm wearing my White's C350 Cruisers, and these have quite a bit of a pull in on the toe. They're 11D, so they're a little bit tight, and I wear a thin sock, but even, I mentioned in another video, they kind of get tight after a day of wearing. These, unfortunately, these Overlanders are problematic immediately. As soon as I put these on, I can feel my toe being mushed, and you kind of get numb to it, I guess, over the day. I mean, it's not like my toe's getting numb, but you kind of just ignore it, I guess. But because of that, you can imagine it's not a great fit. I was toying with the idea of selling them all this time, the Overlanders, and never got around to it because I liked the leather and I kept trying. I don't wear them a lot, maybe once a week max, so they haven't gotten even a lot of wear. If you look at the soles, there's actually a lot of the threads. I mean, some of them have started to wear, but you could tell not a ton of wear. This has almost started to flatten out, but I don't wear them a ton because the comfort's not amazing. Obviously I have a lot of boots, so they all rotate, limiting the wear in on any boot and break in, but this pair in particular gets probably the least wear due to the comfort concerns. Enough about the Overlanders. So the Munson, this really addresses all of those problems. You can see how much it bulges out, and I posted another video about them. there's no pain at all. And then even this part is more straight compared to that curve in you see on the big toe area. It kind of goes to that point. This doesn't. It's almost like a straight shot. And then it just curves in just a little bit to go around the corner, but this is very straight in comparison. Infinitely, night and day more comfortable, you know, totally different world. I like this a lot. Aesthetically, maybe it's not as nice, but it's clearly the superior fit for me. So yeah, they dressed that. I will admit I'm not a fan of the 10-inch as much as the 8. I kind of like the 8-inch height better. It works better for me, but the 10's okay. But just basically, it's a totally better last for me, and I'm sure others. I wonder if maybe narrower feet people work better with the HNW, and I guess I have a more normal width, and that's a problem, but who knows? It's like significantly better in this ThurmanNW Last. So yeah, I kind of talked about that a bit in the other video, so I don't want to belabor it. Watch my other video talking about this boot and this Last, but it's a win. I mostly wanted to, in this video, talk about the kind of observations of some differences I just think is interesting. And then I'm trying to remember what else I missed. Oh, I talked about a little bit of the other video, but I think I was noticing in the footage that I lost without audio. You know, you could see these scuffs and stuff. These, I'm certain of it. These are the boots from the marketing photos on Nick's site. So I think they built these, and then they finally listed them on the Ready to Ship page. Other evidence of that is the manufacturing date. So, you know, Nick's, I feel like they launched these just like a month or so back, the Thurman Last. But if you look at this, look at the manufacturing date on this. This is November 2022. These were not launched in 2022. So this is a really old pair as far as, you know, this new launched model. So I'm certain of it. I mean, down to crazy stuff I noticed just nitpicking the site. The ones on the one of the pictures they posted on Reddit, you could see this loose thread on the Nick's embroidery. And this has it. It's right here. It's like a pair of these, like literally you see the photo on Reddit of these just sitting on a table. I think Schuyler had even posted one of those photos, probably from their meetings when they were kind of getting together their plan to launch the product. So that's kind of cool. That's sort of maybe one of the first, I don't know if it's the first, and it's probably not the prototype because they wouldn't have sold a prototype, but it's, you know, maybe the first official or finalized build. I don't know. I did notice something, I think last night or the night before, that I didn't notice it the first day. I noticed a piece of this, which I'll show in a second, but I didn't notice this until I was kind of paying more attention. So check this out. These have the exact same, maybe I should do the same boot. So let me hold this up to the camera. This is part of that footage. Gotta redo. It's the same thickness. So this is definitely, obviously this is the, whatever, natural, what are they, this is natural, where it's like a really light brown. This is like beeswax. That's why the color's different, but it's the same thickness. These are the same thickness midsole. I'll show you that. Let me get close to the camera. There is no difference in the thickness of the V100 or that midsole. They're the same, it's just the color difference. And knowing that, that's the means they can stitch through this, and they did, because that's what they do on the less thick. If you do the super thick black V100, I don't know if it's a different model, but they have a V100, you know, the black rubber lug sole like this, but they have one that's thicker, or maybe they're putting more slip sole. I'm not sure what they do, but it ends up being so thick that you can't stitch through, so you don't see stitches in the bottom. But this thickness they can, and check this out. This pair doesn't have it. I don't know if that was just a mistake, or they're testing out new adhesives. I've heard some talk about that, but that's kind of weird. So they only had to stitch through a little bit, and that's what made me, I noticed that immediately. I was like, why don't they have stitches through? But check this out. This is crazy. I got kind of a little bit more aware of this whole stitch per inch thing with Viberg. These, I swear, are tighter or higher stitches per inch than what you normally see on nicks and whites. Look at this. It's like a really tight stitch, and I wonder if it's because they didn't stitch through the bottom. They're able to do that. Doesn't mean anything, it's just kind of interesting. Anyway. So anyway, that's the Builder Pro Thurman NW and my Overlander. And my Overlander's probably going to end up getting sold, but today I'm actually wearing some my whites and trying out a pair of Franks that I posted another video about. I am gonna probably wear the Builder Pros tomorrow, the Thurmans, and after I like wearing them all day, switch over to the Overlanders at night and see, like, going back to back, what if my feet really tell me you need to get rid of these, and then I'll probably take some pictures and throw them on eBay. But I don't know, I kind of want to not give up on them. I just love the way these look. This is a really nice looking boot. The leather, just everything, the 8-inch. These are really cool boots. And it's weird because I look at them next to my 11D whites 55s and they don't seem more narrow, so I'm not really sure why this Last just doesn't work on my toe, but I gotta do that comparison side by side. And then I wanna see, like, you know, again, any other differences I notice, because they seem like the build's pretty similar. Let me do something. Let me set up these boots kind of back to back so you can kind of see it's almost the same thing. It's just like the 10-inch versus 8-inch, and then obviously the Last. But it's pretty much like the same build, which, you know, is kind of Nick's thing. You know, other than the Last and then the height and the arch, you know, it's all pretty similar. So they should feel pretty much the same, and I think it's supposed to be the same exact proportions and everything from like the heel, or I guess behind the what is it? The heel to ball, or sorry, the ball is supposed to be wider and then everything forward with the toes. But I think what I understood was behind the ball, so kind of, you know, here and back, it's going to be the same. It'd be interesting to kind of wear them side by side. Might even try putting one on each foot and see how that feels. Like, put the Thurman on my right foot where I have that smash, and then put the Overlander on the left and compare them. But yeah, interesting comparison. I definitely, if you have any toe, like, and I've definitely seen this when I was on Reddit before, people talking about toe smash in a lot of these Lasts, not just the HNW, which is my you know, nemesis, where like it just doesn't work for me. I've heard there was a guy who was always complaining at the 55 and saying it was a, you know, terrible, not anatomical at all, and it's a dress shoe Last and it crushes his toes, and he hated it. I forgot what Last he was using with whites, like a Perry or something. I forgot what the Last he liked better. I think was okay with the 67, but different people have different feet shape and preferences. But I think this Thurman is I mentioned in the other video, game changer. I think if anything, it just gives them more options. If you're like me and the HNW is kind of a little tight in the toe, go with the ThurmanNW and solve the problem. So I think I heard someone say, you know, gives Nicks another, or maybe it was one of their videos, you know, another tool in their fitting toolbox. It's definitely true. It just gives you that extra bit of toe space to not have the, I guess, pain either initially or at the end of the day from your big toe being pushed in and your little toe being pushed in. So yeah, that's kind of a quick update. Well, it's not even quick. I've just rambled for a while, but it's an update on my Overlanders, what I'm thinking about them, and kind of some initial thoughts after wearing these a few days. I just also got to point out this 64 leather is just so good, the 1964. It smells incredible. It's really soft. It's thick. I really like it. It's weird too. It's freaking ridiculous. I already got some oil. I was serving, my wife made dinner and I was serving for us, and I got a little bit of butter, dripped on them from the pan, and it kind of just absorbed, and then I forgot what something else spilled on my toe. It almost like it absorbs the stuff. I remember at a movie theater back in around Christmas time, I was serving my kids buttered popcorn from the theater in the little trays, and a piece of popcorn fell out, landed on my freaking boot, left a butter spot, and I was like, dang, I just gotten them. I'd only had them for a week, and I was like, of course, And I was looking at them, getting all frustrated because brand new boots already have an oil stain that generally is permanent, from movie theater butter. And by the end of the movie, when I was walking to the car, I couldn't even see it. I mean, like you could see it if you get really close, but there's something with this leather. Maybe because it's drier, it just like sucked it up. And then I've since done a little Venetian shoe cream. That's why they have this glistening shine. But like, it's kind of cool. It almost is like Chrome XL in that guard. Chrome XL, maybe not oil stains, but you get scratches, water, anything. You just kind of like rub it and it's gone. The 64 leather seems to have a little bit of, maybe not the healing as far as scratches, but has something going on versus, a veg tan where like any bit of water, you're screwed. Permanent stain. So that's kind of cool. This one is a little bit scuffed up though. I'm debating if I might end up doing Bic 4. I need to get some off Amazon, or my Venetian shoe cream. I was thinking probably the Bic 4 because I don't really want these to be shiny, but they definitely have a lot of lines and marks and stuff. They were like that when I got them. I'm not sure if it was just the leather they used, but it'd be kind of nice to have a little bit more uniform, but I definitely don't want to go darker. See you guys next time.